Okay, hi everyone. Welcome in. Happy Sunday. Woo! Alrighty. Here I am. I literally slid like this to get to the computer, to the laptop. Hello friends, hello everyone. Let me put this up a little bit. I am a little discombobulated right now. What was I grabbing? I was getting something. I don't remember, whatever. We're just gonna get started. Oh, you like my nails? You mean, yeah, I broke this one off. It's my middle finger. It sucks because if I wanna flip someone off, it's so nice having a cunty nail, and I don't have a cunty nail right now. Oh, we get to watch you cut onions? Oh, I will be cutting a lot of onions. Yes, yes indeed, because I'm making French onion soup tonight. So it's gonna be great. Okay, let me put on a little, what am I feeling? French onion soup. Let's get some French jazz cafe. Let's see. Okay. Good, I think that's good. Okay, Chill Emily, thank you for the 5 months. Critical Event, thank you for the 17. Surely we can't screw up soup. Yeah, surely. Luciana Stell, thank you for the 3 months. Yo, if I had an Apple Vision Pro, I could use it. I could use it as an apple cutting technique. I'm gonna get Apple Vision. I'm gonna spend a ridiculous amount of money on Apple Vision Pro just to cut onions. Yeah. All right, so we are making French onion soup today. I feel like I haven't done cooking in a while. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've done a dinner stream. So there are a lot of French onion soups out there. But I want one that is not going to take 5 hours. So I found a recipe on Damn Delicious. It says it's 1 hour and 20 minutes. Check the P.O. box before you do that. I meant to go yesterday and I can't find my P.O. box key. I don't know where it is, so I have not been able to go to the P.O. box. 1 hour 20, so 3 hours. Nope, because here's my plan. Basically, the longest part of the soup is going to be the caramelizing of the onions. It's gonna take 30 to 40 minutes of stirring often. So rather than start off the stream by talking for 30 to 40 minutes and then going, okay, let's get started. I'm gonna save a lot of the talking that I have to do for the caramelizing of the onions. Have you ever caramelized onions? I've caramelized onions with my dad before. This is really gross too, but there's a few reasons why I was delayed until 6. One of them is that my pot, my soup pot, I guess I forgot that I had used it to make soup a while ago. And I was looking for it, and then I found it in the fridge, and I opened it up, and I was like, that is a horror movie in what's happening in the pot. It was like Hocus Pocus. Yeah, it was real gross. So I've been soaking the pot to clean it. How fuzzy was it? If fuzzy wuzzy was a bear. That's how fuzzy it was. Yeah, pretty fucking gross. Actually, it kind of was giving me vibes of what our movie is going to be tonight. What can I do for you? I know. We just went on a walk. That's also why I'm late. We just went on a walk. I gave you food and treats. I don't know what else to do. Do you want to, okay, you want to go outside? You can go outside. Farley hates my cooking streams. Wow, Will is needy. I know, he's so needy. My God. He does want father. Yeah, he wants father, and he especially wants father when I'm doing my cooking streams. I opened the door to let him go outside, and he's just staring at me through the glass now. It's like he doesn't want to even be in our apartment. All right, well, that's up to you, sir. Little sir. You can stand there right outside looking in through the glass. That's your prerogative. Nothing I can do about that. All right, let me get all my ingredients together here. Oh, let me give you a hint for the movie. Did you see Point Girls looking for streamers that haven't played Zelda before but want to? Oh, I think we might have been talking about this at Sam's Etiquette stream. Point Crow was throwing so many ideas at me. That man is an ideas machine. And I think that's one of the ones that he had talked about. So I'll message him. Good reminder. Okay, so here's a hint for the movie other than there's parts of the film that are going to be reminiscent of what was happening in this pot here when I took off the lid and saw soup that had been, well, what was once upon a time soup. All right. The first clue for tonight's movie. It is based, you're not going to be able to get this. It's based on a book, okay? That's the first clue. I'm just going to give you second clue because you're not going to get it from that. Second clue. There are 4 versions of this film, all based on a book. And the first film came out in 1956. It's not Shrek. It's never Shrek. But I appreciate every single time how many of you are like, Shrek! Jared, thank you for the 9 months. Nope, I have not seen it yet. All right. Clue number 3. The lead actress is married to Tony Shalhoub. Yep, somebody guessed it already. The lead actors of the film we're watching tonight, and remember, four versions of this film, 4 remakes. Well, 3 remakes, 1 original, but based on a book. Lead actress is married to Tony Shalhoub. I did see one person guess it, but I'm not going to say who. Looking beautiful tonight? Thank you, darling. Thank you. Okay. Yup. I saw somebody else get it. Yep. Okay. All right. Some of you have gotten it. I'm going to give you another clue. The themes of the film include paranoia and loss of identity. Yep, okay. I see more. Yep. Madam Web. Yep. Okay. Enough of you have guessed it. We are watching Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the 1978 version, starring Donald Sutherland. He's the lead in it. 1978's Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which a lot of people who've seen that film don't know that it's actually a remake and that there's two other films after it. So there's one in 1956, there's one in 1978. I forget when the third one was. I want to say the 80s, but I might be wrong. And then the most recent one, which was like mid-2000s, starring Nicole Kidman. It was the 90s remake. Okay. Yes. Has Jeff Goldblum as well. We don't talk about the Nicole Kidman one. I will say, though, that as far as remakes go, it's one of the best concepts inside, like really just in film in general, but horror and sci-fi particularly. One of the best concepts to remake because it's very simple, you know? And so each version of the film stays very true to what the premise is. And it's why all of them, even the Nicole Kidman one that we don't speak about, are worth watching, you know? Like, it's pretty rare that you have multiple films that are remakes and that are based on a novel that are all, I mean, ranging from like some of the best sci-fi of all time to like, okay, pretty good. And that's the Nicole Kidman one. But yeah, the 1978 version is considered one of the best sci-fi horror films of all time. Same with 1956. There's actually a lot of people who say that the 1956 Body Snatchers should have won Best Picture. Capture the Dead, thank you for the Prime. Yes, I'm very excited to watch this movie. I have, another reason why I was delayed is because YouTube, we're watching on YouTube, but YouTube censors their films. But I was like, this film's pretty old. I wonder if YouTube is going to censor it. And so I checked through. I was like, nope, those are titties. Those are tits. So I have my little YouTube, I have my little TOS bar that I'm going to move over. I know. Can't believe we can't show titties and ass. Yeah. So I had to check through that. That's why I also usually watch movies on stream that I've already seen before, so that when I have to scan through them for titties and dick and ass and, you know, all the things that we can't have on stream, it doesn't ruin the movie for me because I've already seen it a number of times. So yeah, all right. It's already 6:30. We need to get a going because I'd like to start the movie by 8. It's my mother's birthday today. I don't know if my parents are watching right now. I just talked to my family. My mom goes, "We're gonna watch the movie with you." I said, "Okay, well, just so you know, movie doesn't start until about 8 my time, usually around 8:30. That's 10:30 your time, and you go to sleep at like 9. So we're gonna try to. We're going to try to do this as quickly as we can, and by that, it'll probably be around 8:30, like when it usually is. Happy birthday to my mom. Yeah, happy birthday, Mama Kwan. My mom's had a tough year. Health problems and whatnot, so I hope if she's watching, she feels very loved today, feels very special, and feels surrounded by the love of her family. Okay, 1/4 cup unsalted butter. I'm also gonna have this recipe because I am here by myself and I don't need 6 servings of French onion soup. So I'm gonna go halvesies on this, which I also hope will make the onions cook a little faster. Because I was reading in the comments some people saying that it took much longer than 40 minutes to caramelize the onions because there's a lot of onions. Okay, so 3 pounds of medium sweet onions. That is about 2. I just always think of boobs. 2 onions, 2 cloves of garlic. Oh, my garlic is not looking good. Okay, well, surely I can find some decent looking garlic amidst the garlic that we got here. Ooh, this is like older than fucking... This is older than Jimmy Carter. This garlic. Man. Lazarus Kings, thank you for the prime. Okay, garlic, white wine. Obviously, I'm gonna have to go to the wine cellar. It's been a minute. 6 cups of beef stock. I'm gonna do 3 cups. 4 sprigs of fresh thyme. I didn't buy any thyme. I just realized. I'm always forgetting to buy. There's never enough time. There's never enough time. Okay. You know what? It's fine. Thought I had some. So I did the thing where I don't check to see what ingredients I have before going to the store because I went to my friend's birthday earlier today. And I was late to the birthday, so I didn't want to leave right away. So then I was late getting to the store, and I was like, well, I hope I have some time. As I was out of time, thinking that I had time. Whatever, it's fine. 2 bay leaves. Okay. 2 bay leaves, white wine vinegar. Salt and pepper to taste. French baguette. 1 cup. I'm gonna do half a cup of Swiss cheese, half a cup of Gruyere. Yeah, this cheese is kind of shitty, but whatever. No, there weren't like a ton of options. This is cheddar Gruyere, not just, it has Gruyere notes. This is not the right cheese, but it's gonna have to do. So if you're making this recipe, you want Gruyere cheese, not cheddar Gruyere, but whatever. It's fine. Okay, so we're gonna melt the butter, and we want 1/4 cup. I want 1/8 cup of unsalted butter. We're gonna melt that in a large stock pot or Dutch onion over medium heat. Add the onions, cook, stirring often until deep golden brown and caramelized, about 30 to 40 minutes. All right, that is the majority of the cooking here. And then stir in the garlic until fragrant, about 1 minute. Stir in the wine, scraping any brown bits from the bottom of the stock pit. Stir in the beef stock, thyme, and bay leaves. Bring to a boil, reduce heat, and simmer, stirring occasionally until slightly reduced. Okay, so the biggest part of today's cooking stream is gonna be cutting the onions. If you make the full recipe, you could freeze. That's true. I did only get ingredients to make about half of it, though. Because the other thing is, I don't know how it's going to taste. And I'm kind of tired of making the full recipe and not loving it. And being like, that's not that good. Chinbanda. Oh my gosh, Chinbanda. Thank you for the gifteds. Thank you. Okay. So, here's my clean, oh God, no, this still has some shit in it. Fine, I'm gonna give that one more scrub. Gross. Nasty. Give it the old 1-2. It's hard to choke to death on soup. Yes, it is hard to choke to death on soup. And I have proclivity to choking on food when Will is out of town. So that's why I'm also making soup. I'm 31, by the way. Okay, this should be all clean. God, why is there like little scuzzy bits? Okay. Okay. Not a day over 22, milady. Milady. All right. That is now quadruple washed. Farley is hiding somewhere. Where did he go? Let me hold on. Let me just make sure he hasn't killed himself. Well, he is sitting in the pitch black under, or not really under Will's desk, but he's on the beanbag by Will's desk. In the pitch black. I just turned on the lights. I was like, I'm gonna turn these lights on, buddy. He's being emo. Yeah, he is very emo. I know. It's sad. Yeah. But unfortunately his dad died in a tragic accident at the opening of the Iron Forge. So I gotta break that news to him. Okay. Onions. Where's my good knife? Where's my good knife? Okay. I need my onion cutters, or I mean goggles. All right. How's Willie? Oh, he's fine. He's good. He's good. It's time to cut some motherfucking onions. Oh! Excuse me. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, let's do... Why is that wanting to, like, not... Okay. All right. Let's cut these onions. Now, the nice thing is I don't have to dice them. I just need to slice them. They just gotta be sliced. Ooh, this onion is so... I'm so tired of these grocery stores. I'm sick of these grocery stores and their shitty produce. This is garbage. What the... Yo. Yuck. Man. And the thing is it doesn't matter if I go to Kroger, Whole Foods. They're just not great quality. Anyway, all right. Onion number 1. I'm gonna slice this. Nobody judge. This is what I say every time. If you want chopping privileges, you're not allowed. This is a bad onion. This is gross, but I guess I have to use it. The only person who I'm inviting to give me shit is Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay, if you ever want to come on stream and tell me that I'm an idiot sandwich and throw things at me because of the way that I cut onions, you are welcome to. Yeah, this is not, the quality of this onion is not good. This is terrible, but so far, no tears. So far, so good. That's what we're looking for here. As we slice these onions. Like, this top layer is so nasty. All right, that was pretty painless. It's so much better to slice onions than to dice them. I really, Chinbanda, thank you for the gifted to Gordon. You're scared for my fingers? No. No, because the thing is I have very long nails on. My fingers aren't even close to the knife. Did you beat Radon yesterday? Fuck yes, I did. Felt good. I was living in the adrenaline rush of that for quite some time. Rhyme for life. Thank you for the bits. I almost choked with my Diet Coke when I turned and saw your glasses. Hey, at least I'm not doing the plastic wrap. At least I'm... I have a little bit more dignity here. You missed it? Well, it's on... It's my VOD is up. Don't worry. That will be cemented in history. It's never going anywhere. One day when future of humanity is looking at artifacts from this time period, they will watch and study the VOD of me beating Radon. Yeah. It will give them an idea of what we were like in the year 2024. Well, I felt like shit too because Will told me that he had beat Radon in two tries, although he did say, like, don't worry. Like, how are you supposed to cut an onion when it gets down to this shit? You feel me? I'm like, I feel like I'm doing surgery. When it gets down to, like... But yes, he had a... you just got it. Okay. He had a magic build, which he did tell me is a lot easier in fighting Radon, whereas I just had a big-ass sword. Oh, thank you again, everyone, for all the birthday wishes yesterday for my cousin Grace. It was hilarious because I talked to my dad after stream. My dad was so funny on the phone last night. I tweeted out one of the things that he said. But he goes, yeah, the family, like a lot of the family members could not understand what was going on. They thought that like they were talking to me. They were like, wait, she can see us? She can see us through the TV? So apparently some of them were like, Caroline, hi. Hi, Caroline. And my dad was like, no, it's not how that works. Kikai's house, thank you for the tier 1. Yeah, they could not understand it though. They were like physically incapable of understanding how stream worked. Oh, Kikai's house, thank you for the 5 gifted. Yeah. I don't know why, but they just, it's like people just have a hard time understanding the concept of Twitch. Kikai's, thank you for that juice. Thank you. Yeah, but it was very cute. My cousin Grace was really felt very special, so thank you guys for deploying all those lovely birthday messages. All right, onion is cut. Okay, let me get some butter going. We want this on medium-ish. Medium. I was under the impression they could see me the whole time. I can see you. I can see what you're doing, all of you. Keep the goggles on. Well, usually I keep them on because the onions, even when I take them off, it like still gets in my eyeballs. They do look pretty rad. I've used these goggles more for cutting onions than I have for skiing. Like these are ski goggles. And I've used them more for cutting onions. Do you hate crying? It's just that like once I get started with the onions, I can't stop. Yes. Yes, okay. 1/8 cup of unsalted butter. What is 1/8 cup in tablespoons? Math question. Class? Oh my God, Taco Cub. Thank you for that. Thank you for that 10 spot. Those 10 gifteds. Two tablespoons? Okay, are we sure about that? We're sure. Okay, Hannah, I trust you. 2 tablespoons. Good job. Good job. Why the fuck are my alerts not sounding? Can you guys hear? Hold on. Let me redo this. 1 second. Uno momento. Sometimes when I switch over on the laptop, everything breaks. Wow, that's now giant. Okay, I think that should... How many ounces are in a football field? I'm gonna guess like 5. There we go. All right, sorry those were not working before. Thank you, Taco, again for that 10. Full Plaid, thank you for the 2 months. J Babe Suke, thank you for the 8 months. My hair clip is hanging on by naught but a dream. Life is but a dream. All right, so 2 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna throw that in here. Okay, why are you doing crazy things right now? All right, so that is melting. And then the onions. I'm actually gonna put my hair up. Because the last thing that I want is hair this long and my French onion scoops. Now we stop joking, Foosket when. Okay, here's the thing. When I talked to Leslie and Ellum at the Super Bowl party, at Cutie Super Bowl party, and they were like, oh, they got very excited. And we're talking about bleaching the bottom of my hair. So I got kind of scared. I was like, oh, Foosli had like mania in her eyes. Those were psycho eyes as she envisioned bleaching, like not the whole hair, or not like what they did with Emily, but like the bottom 6 inches of my whole hair. Yeah, I don't know. I might still do it. I mean, I do have so much hair right now. It'd basically be like the opposite of frosted tips. Frosted bottom. Ombre? No, not even ombre. Just like bleached. The last 6 inches of my hair just being bleached. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, let me put this light on. Okay, let's get these onions in here. Let's get them going because they're gonna take a long time. Oh no, these are so gross. Bruh. Okay, some of these onions are not gonna be winning a beauty pageant anytime soon. Nasty. tasty. This is why I'm glad I'm only making half the recipe, because yuck. Those are ugly. These are ugly onions. Okay. That is there. You know what? Fuck, I need more butter because I think I have more than what I needed for the onions. I'm gonna put some more butter in. Because you can never have too much butter, right? Just throw more butter in there. Okay, so the trick is gonna be, the trick with this recipe and the way that I cook is gonna be not forgetting to frequently stir the onions while I chat with you all. That is going to be the challenge. I just want to get this started here. Get this starting to caramelize. No, da, da, da. All right. Just finished The Holdovers. That movie didn't have to be that good. It's one of those movies that I will probably watch every Christmas season. Like, I'm going to add that into the rotation. Rocks it. Thank you for the bits. Thank you. Okay, I need 2 cloves. Oh, wait. I'm having the recipe. So how many cloves of garlic does it want? 2 cloves of garlic. So I'm going to do 1. This garlic is also gross. So let's see if we can find a decent clove. Okay. That one's all right. Let's see. Is that Le Creuset? This? The pot? Yes. I bought it. I was waiting for these to go on sale because I've always wanted one of these, even though I'm not a big time chef. I'm not a big fancy chef, but I've always wanted one of these. And I do use it all the time, pretty much every time I cook. But I did wait for it to go on sale. I get why people splurge and buy the whole set because they're just so pretty. They're so beautiful. Like the colors, they really get you. All right, let me mince this. So I talked to my dad on the phone for about 2.5 hours last night after I finished stream. And I tweeted this because it was so funny. But we were talking about streaming and life and hustle and purpose and all that stuff. And he starts talking about his life. And my dad was a doctor. My dad was a rehab doctor for 35 years. Recently retired. And I thought he was going to talk about like why he became a doctor or why, his love of medicine and of healing and making people better and that whole thing, which, yes, I know he feels those things. But instead, this man, and I wonder if he's watching because this made me laugh so hard. He goes, my whole life, from when I was an adolescent up until I got married to your mom, I was driven by one thing. And I was like, oh. He goes, I was driven by wanting to meet women. I was like, huh? He goes, yeah. I was obsessed with women. He's like, I just thought women were so pretty. And I just wanted to meet women. He's like, well, like when I was in college, My dad went to Berkeley. He goes, when I was in college, all I cared about were meeting beautiful women. And I was like, you know what, Dad? You're very real for that. He's not wrong, you know? Women are amazing. Who doesn't want to meet women? Anyway, that was hilarious. And then about 10 minutes later, my dad was asking me about different streamers' names because he thinks it's so funny that streamers have streamer names. And he's always like, okay, well, what's like Extra Emily? That's not her name, right? I'm like, no, her first name isn't Extra and her last name isn't Emily. I go, but her name is Emily. He's like, so that's her real name? I was like, yeah, that's her real name. He goes, okay, what about, who's the girl that you did the song with at the concert? I said, Fan Fan. He's like, yeah, so what's Fan Fan's name? I said, Fiona. He was like, okay. Like, he just gets such a kick out of the stream names. And then he said, well, what's Cutie Cinderella's name? And I was like, Blair. He goes, well, do you call her that? I said, no. I call her Cutie. And he asked me, he was like, well, what would your stream name have been? I said, Dad, honestly, I thought long and hard. But the problem was I started streaming at 30. My whole life I'd been Caroline Kwan. Professionally for 10 years I've been Caroline Kwan as an, you know, in just all my jobs and as an actor, as a screenwriter. I go, who was I suddenly gonna become? Like, because the thing is, whatever my stream name was, that's what people would call me. I was like, it's everything sounded so weird. I really did think of trying to do other names. Yeah, S-Fan's name is Cletus. I really tried to think of other stream names, and everything sounded so dumb. Because I was like, yeah, if I go by, I don't know, Gamer Girl 23, people are going to call me Gamer Girl. Fashan, Obvi Fashan. But I didn't know what to do, and Will was Will Neff. So I went, all right, I guess I'll be Caroline Kwan. But then my dad goes, okay, this is the funniest part of this part of the conversation. He goes, what's the name of, who's the gay guy who loves you? This man goes, who's the gay guy who loves you? And I went, Austin? He goes, yeah. What's his name? I said, Austin Show. He goes, is that his real name? And I said, no, it's not. It's actually Raj Royale. I was like, his real name is actually Raj Royale, but Austin Show is his stage name. No, I said, his name is Austin, and he goes, is his last name Show? I went, what do you think? So your dad only asked about girl streamers and a gay guy's real name. He pretty much, my dad doesn't know a lot of streamers. He only knows streamers who I've done collabs with. So he knows Emily. He watched the Christmas concert with Fan Fan. Obviously he knows Cutie Cinderella. He's also just he's a fan of Cutie though, because my dad loves to bake. What up, Ari? Does he know me? He's your number one fan. He doesn't see all the collabs. Like, I don't know if he watched my collabs with Austin. Like, my dad only knows if I text my family ahead of time. So I'll say like, hey, I'm doing the Christmas concert. Here's the link for you to watch. Like, he'll always watch that then. Or I've sent him things when I was, like when I was doing a stream with Emily. Don't lie. I'm not lying to you. I would never lie. Ratchums, thank you for the 9 months. To be fair, you're dating Will Neff. True. Right. That's who I based my my name off of. I was like, can I also be Will Neff? All right, these are softening up. How long have I been doing this? About 5 minutes. All right, we have about 30 minutes to go. Just 30 minutes. Remember, I cannot forget to frequently stir those. So you didn't send him you rapping? I didn't. I don't want my parents to know how talented I am. So I haven't shown them any of the freestyles that I've done. You know, you gotta keep I don't want my parents to get an ego and thinking that they have the most talented daughter in the world. Like, what can't she do? Look at this. Yeah. Yeah, I don't, you know, the freestyle, I kind of keep that a little under wraps. Gotta stay humble. You do. You do gotta stay humble. All right, let me just see what the next part of this is. So after that, stirring the garlic and then the wine. Okay, I think I'm going to, oh, I have time to shred the cheese. Stir in the wine, okay. Great, all right, I got some time. We got some time. Asian families famously shame overachieving. Right, exactly. I don't want to be an overachiever, is what I'm saying. Slay, our humble queen. You know how I do it. Now I have time. Yes, exactly. What else did my dad say on this conversation? Oh, you know what? You know what we're gonna fucking talk about? We're gonna talk about the most bad faith discourse that is happening online right now, okay? And it's funny because I had just been talking to my parents. I talked to my dad last night for 2.5 hours. I talked to my mom today for her birthday. And throughout the conversations, I kept saying how much I love this job. As much as my parents would say, oh my God, you must be tired, like you're always working. I said, yes, but I am so happy to get to do this. I can't believe this is my life now. I say that all the time. Every time I see my friends, every time I talk to my family members, every time I fucking stream, I always express how grateful I am to be getting to do this. I didn't start doing this until I was 30 years old. I worked my whole life. I've done many jobs. I've worked in many industries, and not a day has gone by that I haven't worked. And so to get to do this now and be successful in it and, you know, not worry about money for the first time in my life, in the sense of like, ooh, how am I gonna pay my bills? Or like, oh, my credit card debt is racking up, even though I'm working 3 jobs. It is a privilege, it is an honor. You all know how it goes. But why is it that me or any other streamer, of which there are so many who have said this, and the crazy thing was, my tweet today didn't even mention Hassan's name. And yet 70% of the comments were talking about Hassan and saying shit like, oh, you're just dick riding Hassan. I'm like, isn't that funny that I actually didn't even mention his name? And yet you all are so fucking obsessed with this man that is all you can see. Those are you have blinders on. I was like, I was talking about something that is talked about all the time. Whether it's like Hassan saying the thing that he said and now all of Twitter's blown up, Or like this is not the first time that a streamer has said like, oh yeah, I'm tired, like my social battery is drained. Streamers talk about this all the time, but they don't say it as a way of like complaining or, you know, fuck this or I have it worse than everyone else. It's just being honest with your community. It's like having a moment of, oh fuck these onions. Okay. Hold on. So anyway, it is so maddening to me that there is no ability to have genuine discourse online. I know we say this all the time, but even when I respond to people charitably, and even when I think that I give my perspective on something that is not, like, it's so hard to see how I am being spoiled and privileged when I literally say, I would not change a thing. I am so grateful to have this job. I recognize that I am privileged to be here, and I have worked other jobs. I know what it's like to work 3 jobs at once. I know what it's like to be in the service industry, to work as a substitute teacher, to work at a call center. Like, I've done a lot of things, so I have that added perspective of starting streaming at 30 and comparing it to like what I had done before, seeing how it's different, but also the ways that it is so much better than what I've done in my life, and why I am every single day waking up, you know, prepared to stream, prepared to do anything I need to do to not lose this, so I don't ever have to go back to what I used to do. I literally say all the time, I never want to go back and work in a club ever again. And I say all those things having literally been arrested by the police because of this job. Why am I not allowed? I'm not allowed, or no streamer is allowed to express like what the hard parts of the job are, which tend to relate to your mental game. You're not allowed to say that while simultaneously acknowledging the privilege and honor of getting to do something like this, and like the just gratitude for this job. It's like those two things can't exist. And I really feel like the anger online is so misplaced. And I know it because the responses to my tweet had really nothing to do with what I said. It was simply because I'm a streamer and they look at me as a spoiled, and they look at me as a streamer as a spoiled, privileged millionaire in my mansion, whatever. They're so angry about their own situations that have nothing to do with me and have to do instead with the systems that are in place in this country, in this world, that make people's lives so hard, and people who work 40, 50, 60 hours a week and can barely make rent. Like that is something that I absolutely know. And for most of my life, that's where I was. Like for most of my working life, I was in that position, and I recognize that. And it's why I understand the privilege that I have now as a streamer who is succeeding in this industry. So it's like, you're not allowed to say anything as a streamer. You're not allowed to be honest or vulnerable for even a moment, and talk about like, yes, the mental pressure and the mental gain, the mental fortitude that you need to have in order to keep going in this job is something that you don't know until you do it. I had no idea until I started streaming, and I still, with everything that has happened, with harassment, with doxing, with worrying about my family, with worrying about myself, with worrying about, you know, just all of these things, I would never go back. Like, why can't I fucking say that and have people go, oh yeah, that makes sense, I get that. Dracula, thank you for the tier 2 gifted. Kaylee Marie, thank you for the tier 1. Who else did I forget in there? Rhyme for Life, thank you for the 100 bits. These are the same people who will give you shit when you try to advocate and improve the stuff that's making them mad. Right. And that's why I can't even, like, I'm not even mad at people online, because I know it's not me that they're really mad at. They're just taking it out on me, or they're taking it on, like, whoever. it's like whoever dares to talk about something like this. Oh, the onions! I know. Okay. Ooh, it smells so good. Oh my God, this is smelling delicious. God, I love caramelizing onions. Okay, thank you for that reminder. Oh my God, the onions. They need a villain in their life to project their anger onto, cancel, and make them feel more. I don't even know if it's feeling a sense of accomplishment versus they're angry at their, at how their life is. And I understand. I get that, and I have empathy for that. But at the same time, that anger is so misplaced and directed at people who they look at as bitching and complaining about having millions of dollars. Like, that is how they've now translated this. It's like, oh, wow, how nice would it be to play video games and make millions of dollars? It's like, okay, that's such a reduction in what is, what is happening. Like, that's not what I do, for sure. That's not what most streamers do. But you can't even you can't argue with it, because they're not even arguing with they're not even responding to what you're saying. It's like just this anger that gets triggered and these automatic responses that they just say over and over again to anything they see online that they perceive to be a rich person complaining about being rich. Ryan for Life, thank you for the tier 1. And Britt Hartz, thank you for the tier 1. Watching your stream so relaxing makes me happy there's still sane people in the streaming industry. Glad you're among the ranks of Twitch streamers. Thank you so much. Like, truly, the only response that I could have tweeted that would not, and people still would have, weirdos still would have said something, but the only thing that I could have said that would have been acceptable would have been, streaming is the easiest job. There's no problems. Everyone is being a soft bitch. And, like, suck it up, fuckos. Like, that's the only thing that would have been an acceptable response. Streaming is a dream job. Most people don't understand how hard and stressful it can be. They just see the good parts and the 0.1% who are millionaires. Right. And even in the streamer space of those who are successful in this industry, a lot of people make very good money, especially for, especially for like the type of work that it is. But not everyone's a millionaire. And so it really is this perception of like all of these millionaires, they almost look at us like we are Jeff Bezos's, right? Billionaires practically, sitting in their mansions, bitching about how, and saying, like, they think we're saying that our jobs are harder than working an oil rig. And no one is saying that. Yo, Rob, what's up? I did not, Dracula, thank you for the tier 2 gifted. Hope you are doing well, buddy. It was good to see you at the Streamer Awards. It's like those who don't think celebrities have it rough. Yeah, I don't know, there's like no room for nuance. There's no, there's just, they like, people will not, they won't accept anything less than, there's nothing that I struggle with as a streamer because I am so privileged and spoiled. And so that's that. Rhyme for Life, thank you for the 10 gifteds. Thank you for that juice. Dylan King, thank you for the tier 1. Right, nerd, you're complaining when other people have it worse. Yeah, like I would never ever compare my situation to anybody. Why would I be like, I have it worse than you? I would never say that about anything in my life. You know, because I don't know other people. I would never compare my situation to anyone for better or for worse. On a brighter note, Denim spent a minute raving about you. What a great job you do earlier today. How wrong it is some people eager to criticize don't give you the credit you deserve. Yeah, look, it comes with the territory, okay? I am at a point in this career where there are people who just repeat the same things about me that are just blatantly false. And it's because they don't know me. They don't know anything about me. They just know they need to be angry, and so, or they think they need to be angry and take it out on someone like me. Yeah, so like me saying the difficult part of streaming that I have not experienced in any of the other jobs I've ever done is the mental game as it pertains to being a person online. Now, of course it was mentally taxing, and I struggled when I worked in nightlife, and I was like sexually harassed and assaulted all the time. Of course it was, stressful working at a call center. Like, I definitely talked to people who told me that they were gonna fucking kill me and that, like, they hate women, whatever. Of course it was mentally taxing when I worked as a substitute teacher, and like teachers would not give me any fucking they wouldn't give me a syllabus, so I had to make it all up on my own. I'd never been a teacher in my life. Like, there are many things that I've done that have been stressful on my mental. Most of that came from like, okay, I need to make enough money to pay my bills, so I have to keep like running around doing all these different things. It was very physically exhausting. But as a streamer, I'm on the internet. Those other jobs, I wasn't on the internet. I didn't have to worry about like people calling the cops to try and get me killed. Like, that's not, I never had to worry at the nightclub that like someone who I had problems with was going to then go online and make a vicious hate threat about me and then dox my personal information. Like, it's just the difference there. All right, these are looking gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Caramelizing. We love to see it. Like, I'm trying to explain the difference in the jobs that I have worked, and this is the first time that I've ever done a job that puts me in the crosshairs of people online. And so, there are things that come from that I never experienced in any other job, and that has made this the most mentally taxing one because of dealing with being a person online and dealing with like certain harassment that comes from that. But all that being said, and when I say those things, I go, but I would not give up this job to go back to what I used to do. I put up with all of that. I put up with the threats and the, just the harassment and stuff like that because I love getting to do this. And I can't believe that as a 30-year-old, I was able to come into an industry like this and, find my way through and like have this, amazing community that reminds me to keep stirring my onions. Kikai's house, thank you for another 5 gifted. Thank you. Anyway, I'm not saying anything that most of you don't already know. Like, I think you guys get that stuff. Like, I don't think it's that hard to understand. It's really not complicated. That someone who works in a certain industry where there are issues unique to that type of job doesn't mean that they're comparing their job to some stranger's life online. You know, I'm not like, oh yeah, well my life is so much harder than yours because I'm a streamer. In fact, the opposite. I would acknowledge like the many ways that this is a better job than a lot of other jobs because I've worked those jobs. I have worked so many different types of jobs. So I can compare. It's not hard to understand, but when a person of insane privilege well saying it's harder for them than for their viewers, listeners is wild. You know, I think it's like, maybe, look, I understand that a lot of times things get taken out of context, and I also know that not every streamer effectively can explain what it is they're trying to say, and I'm not talking about Hassan at all, because a lot of streamers have talked about this. This is like an ongoing discourse. I get that, like, the taken out of context, and then also just not, I don't know, not seeing how people are going to react to something that you think is just innocuous, and you know, you're just like saying something to your chat. Hassan was speaking about himself. I don't know if that person was talking about Hassan, so I'm not presuming that was about Hassan, because my tweet was not in defense of Hassan. It was not like, okay, I think these are about ready to go. I think we're pretty golden here. My tweet was adding to the discourse. Like, I saw Asmongold talk about this. I saw Trisha Zaberti talk about this. I saw like just some other streamers on Twitter talk about it. Obviously, I saw all the tweets about Hassan. I saw Denims. There were a lot of people. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw my 2 cents in here. I always know though, at this point I'm like, even when I think I'm being pretty reasonable here, I know that it's going to be taken so uncharitably, and the responses to it are not going to actually be in response to what I said. It's just going to be, oh, rich bitch, boo-hoo. Oh, you're soft, loser. Anyway, all right. I think these are all caramelized. Let me show you guys. Hold on. You can tell me. Those look good. Ow! They smell fucking amazing. I wish I could bottle this smell up. I wish I could bottle it up as like a perfume. Could be a little more. How long have I been doing it? 25 minutes? All right, I'll do like 5 more minutes. We'll do 5 more minutes, and then we're gonna put in the garlic. Okay, they look good, just a little bit more. Are we talking about how Legion was actually a pretty good guy, just misunderstood? Yeah. Tired of putting people, putting themselves against people in other professions. Labor is labor. Wow. Yeah, this candle smells like my onion pussy. Yeah, it's weird. I never thought I'd be at a point in my life where I would get used to online harassment. Like, you never really get used to it, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I went through my phase of, oh my God, I can't believe there's people who hate me online and say these things about me and they have no idea who I am. Like, what's happening here? And now I'm at a point where I expect it, and it's annoying, but I'm used to it. I'm used to it now, and I didn't think that I would ever be in a place in my life where any of those things would happen. Like desensitized, yeah. I think it's also because I can predict now what people's comments and responses will be to a tweet like the one I tweeted today. That's the sad part. Is knowing I can't, like, one of the things that happens often, and I've talked about this, you guys notice, I never put Hassan's title in my stream. I never watch Hassan videos. I also stream after Hassan when he's still live, and I also stream usually when Will is streaming. So all those things I do, and yet if something has happened that, you know, Hassan is at the center of, it doesn't matter if I give my opinion and I don't mention him and it has really nothing to do with him but has to do with like my own experience. I just know that there are going to be countless responses calling me a Hassan dick rider, a Hassan waiting room, which doesn't even make sense. I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense. You do get that, right? How am I a waiting room when I stream after him and he's still live? Do you get that? Do you understand? But yeah, it's also why, like, I've had these conversations with Hassan too, where I don't want raids from him. He doesn't want, you know, we don't do the raid thing. I really, we don't do political content together. I've known him for a long time. I am friends with him. He is the best friend of my boyfriend. That is about it here. Like, I'm doing my own thing. So even if you were like, I know you guys don't care, but I'm just pointing out how I can predict exactly what responses will be to me online, even though it makes no sense whatsoever and is incredibly stupid, but it doesn't matter because it's like a Pavlovian response, you know? They are triggered to respond that way. So I'm used to it though. Borch Magic, thank you for the prime. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let me put the garlic over here. As far as I'm concerned, Ashley said Hassan's a Caroline Guan waiting room. All right, I think these are beautiful and brown. Let me show you guys. Beautiful and brown. What do we think? Yeah? Beautifully browned? They've been cooking for about 30 minutes, and that's what the recipe said. Oh shit, I paused my chat. You guys some of you would go darker? Really? Oh no, these look pretty good. They look just a little. Okay, what if I crank this? Crank the heat up just a tinge. Bro, I started with so many onions and I forget that they really shrink down. Not as bad as something like spinach, but are you done? They bet. and are wait, what do you mean they bet and are influencing you? Who's influencing me? The government? Who's doing this? It's like a process. The onions have to sweat, then they release their sugars, and then the sugar's brown. Who's in my head? Who's watching me? All right. I have to go down to my wine cellar. So if the haters are watching, you will be pleased to know that all your suspicions have been confirmed. I live in the biggest mansion of any person ever. I have multiple wine cellars, and I have an escalator that I had installed so I can access my wine cellar and expel less energy. It is true. The rumors are true. So, don't let the Twitter wackos deter you from doing anything. You're one of the most talented streamers. One of the reasons I started streaming. Oh, I'm so happy that I inspired you to stream. I hope it's going well. And don't worry, they're not deterring me. All right, one more spin of the onions here, and then I'm gonna go grab some wine. Can we get a tour? No. I'll be right back. Just everyone stay where you are. Here I come. Wow. There was a glitch in the escalator. I don't know if you saw that. There was a strange glitch where it went up and then it went down. I don't know what happened there. Maggie, thank you for the raid. All right. I'm showing you the onions one last time, and then that's it. They could not be more perfect. Look at those. They are beautiful. Okay. Throwing in my garlic. Gotta get that garlic in there. Come take it away. I'm trying to get the brown bits off the bottom, but oh, you guys, I'm gonna pass out. It smells so good. It smells so good with the garlic. Even though these onions were kind of jank. Okay, this is not scraping. Let's try this. All right. Okay, next, stir in the wine. So we want 1/6 1/6 cup of wine. If you add 2 tablespoons of water, it'll... Oh. Okay, 1/6 cup. Why is this... Oops, I fucked up. Hold on. Oh God! Oh God! This is why I need a sous chef. You know what's embarrassing is I literally worked at country clubs. Okay. 1/6 cup of wine. Here's my third. All right, I don't have a 6 cup, so I'm just gonna do half of this 1/3 cup. Okay. Oh fuck, I need to turn the oven on. Wait, do I? Yeah, wait, hold on. No, stir in wine. Stir in the beef stock. Where's my beef stock? All right, sorry, I can't see what's going on in chat right now because we are in, you gotta throw all this stuff in mode. Okay, we need 6 cups of beef stock. A little bit. Right. Ah! One, 2, 3. All right, beef stock is in. Thyme, I don't have thyme, so we need bay leaves. Okay. Here's one bay leaf, and let's get a little tiny one. All right, this needs to be brought to a boil. Oops. This really is not very much soup. It's not very much soup because I'm doing it in half, but it really does not look like... Wait, I have to show you guys. This looks really funny. This little amount of soup. This is the total of the soup. There's hardly any. That's okay. You know what? I'm just gonna throw the whole beef stock in. It's fine. Okay. All right. The pot is really big. Yeah, that is true. The pot is really big. Okay, so I got the beef stock, the thyme, bay leaves, bring to a boil, reduce heat and simmer, stirring occasionally until slightly reduced, about 15 to 20 minutes. Great, all right, okay. So, while I am waiting on this to boil, we're gonna bring this back over here. Okay. The good news is it does smell delicious. It smells really good. So, even though there's not gonna be a lot, it will hopefully be tasty. What does it smell like? It smells like French onion soup. What kind of cheese are you using? The cheese is not right, but the cheese is gonna have to She's gonna have to make do. Okay, wait, I need some chapstick. Hold on. Farley is still mourning. He's... Look, I gotta check on Farley really quickly. Hold on. I'll be right back. Alright, I went in there and he was singing, "The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow." Like Little Orphan Annie. I'm like, you know you're not an orphan. The dog was singing? Yeah. The dog was singing. Okay, so still waiting on that to boil. There's always at some point in the cooking stream that I am out of breath. So that should not be happening while you're cooking, by the way. You should never be out of breath when you're making a recipe like this. Such a theater dog. I know he is. Well, you're running back and forth. Right. But there's no reason to be running back and forth. I just always get... There's always a stress to cooking for me. Nothing I can do about it. Okay. Why don't I grate the cheese? We've got Swiss. Oh, the cheese is kind of soft now. This is my cheese grater that last time I used it, my family members came into chat to make fun of me for this being my grater. It has rust on the top and the bottom. I spent all my money on the escalator and the 2 wine cellars. Priorities. So I have a funny story from today when I went to my friend's 30th birthday. On the way, I stopped to get her some flowers. And there was this girl in front of me, and she was getting flowers as well. And I looked at her, I went, well, I didn't say this to her, but I was like, I wonder if that girl's going to my friend's birthday as well, because I just had a feeling. Like, this friend of mine is very hot and has only, like, all the people that she hangs out with, because she's dating this guy, and so all the people that she hangs out with now, I never see this friend anymore. It's very sad. I love her dearly, but I never see her. But they're all, like, LA hot people. So I see this girl, I'm like, that is a very LA hot person. And she's buying flowers. I wonder if we're going to the same birthday party. And as I was checking out, the guy who was helping with the flowers, he's like, "Where are you going to?" I said, "A birthday party." And he goes, "That girl's going to a birthday party too." I said, "It's funny because I already thought that we might be going to the same place, and we're both late because we're both buying flowers." So I was like, whatever, it's LA. It's LA, there's probably a lot going on. I get to the birthday party. There's 10 people there, and she is one of them. I was right! What's the word I'm looking for? Not stereotyped. Not stereotyped. Like, what's the word in, it'd be like Criminal Minds. Criminal Minds where they are profiling. Yes, I profiled. I was like a Criminal Minds profiler. Anyway, that was not the funny story. The funny story is I was talking to my friend whose birthday it was, And this guy comes in. And I know this guy because I worked with him for a few years because he was a promoter at some of the clubs that I worked at. So like, I worked with this guy multiple times a week for multiple years. So he walks over to me and my friend Madison to wish her happy birthday. And I'm like, this guy's not gonna remember me. Because this is classic LA. Classic LA, you can meet someone 200 times and they'll be like, hey, nice to meet you. So my friend Madison goes, oh, this is Caroline, do you know her? And I just go, well, we worked together for I think 3 years. Because he had that look of where he was about to go. He was about to be like, oh, nice to meet you, I'm James. And I was like, yeah, we worked together for about 3 years, probably 3-4 nights a week. So he's like, yeah, I thought you looked familiar. And I go, no, you didn't. Anyway, so my friend Madison goes, I actually have you to thank because you're the reason that I met my boyfriend. Because a couple years ago, he is friends with her boyfriend, and he said to my friend Madison, hey, one of my friends has a crush on you. And that's how they started dating. So love, true love, whatever. Matchmaking, hot people in LA meeting hot people in LA. And this guy goes, I've never seen him be this way around a girl like he has been with you. Like, you're very special to him. And I was like, well, Madison is a very special girl. No shit. Of course, you better treat her right. And Madison was like, yeah, it's been really great, yada, yada. And this promoter guy goes, I'm still looking for that special girl. And I'm not even fucking kidding you. He turns to me and he does this to my arm. Like, he looks at me, he goes, maybe that could be you. This motherfucker literally goes, and he was so tan too. I wanted to be like, why are you so tan? There's been no sun. He was so tan and his teeth were so white, and he just goes, yeah, I haven't found that special girl yet. Maybe that could be you. And I burst out laughing. And my friend Madison was much more polite than I and was holding her laughter in. But I just laughed my fucking ass off. And I'm like, I forget what it's not that I forget what these people are like, but I'm always reminded whenever the rare occasion pops up that I'm around these nightlife people again. Like, this is how my life was for 5 years. For 5 years, dealing with people like that where they wouldn't know who you were, even though you had met 8,000 times, and then would say shit like that, like, maybe you could be her. I'm like, buddy, why don't you drop at least 8 shades of how tan you are, and then maybe in another life we can think about it. But yeah, I'm not kidding you. That is how so many of my interactions would be in nightlife, of people who I fucking worked with, who'd be like, hey, nice to meet you. Like, what's up? I'm Robbie. I'm like, yeah, I know. We work, people who I would be working with. I'd be like, yeah, you know the club that you go to 4 nights a week because you're a promoter? I work there out front. I give you your promo bottle tickets. I check you in so that you can get paid for work. Like, we've worked together for 3 years. Okay, this is boiling. We are boiling. So I want to reduce this Reduce heat and simmer. Great. Reduce heat and simmer, stirring occasionally till slightly reduced about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, great. Great, excellent. Anyway, if some of you heard that line, and you were like, you know what, that's not half bad. If you're gonna use that line, first of all, don't use that line. Second of all, make sure that you're not using it on somebody who you didn't remember, even though you had worked together for years. Was he 6'4"? He actually was 6'4". Now he's about 6'3". Wheelchair Wade, thank you for the 2 months. Welcome in, Workers Raid. What's up, everybody? What's up? Hope you're well. I just told a story from today of when I went to my girlfriend's birthday, her 30th birthday, and it's the first time that I've been around LA people in a while, which include LA people that I have previously worked with in nightlife. Hexing, thank you for the 5. Thank you for that juice. So... that explains it. Tall people have no personality because they mostly can get away with anything. Tall men can get away with anything. It's time for it to stop. You cannot trust a man who's over 6, I would say 6'2", especially in LA, because tall men are pretty rare. Like out in the Midwest, every dude was corn-fed and, you know, just a big dude. Out in LA, no. LA is the classic people who say that they're 6 feet tall and they're really 5'9". I'm tired of tall men thinking that they can get away with anything and everything. It's got to stop. I actually think part of my job here on this earth is to make it known to tall men that they cannot get away. They can't get away with shit. Pata Tangina, thank you for the tier 1. Your boy Will here, thank you for the raid. Time to humble their asses. Yeah. Man, I cannot get over. I'll tell this again for people who just got here. But anyway, so I'm at my friend's birthday. It's her 30th birthday. It was the first time I've been around, like, I don't know how to describe them other than hot LA people. Like, they look a certain way, if you know what I mean. It's like, I was at my friend's house. She lives out with her boyfriend. This is like a $15 million house, most insane thing ever. And it's all like hot LA people. Plastic surgery everywhere. Like, everyone's kind of stiff. Like very, very stiff people. The type of people who I no longer want to spend any time around because I did that for so long. I did that when I worked in nightclubs for so long. And I never want to have to fake conversation ever again. The type of people will be like, I'm kind of being mean, but I'm also not. Let me just use the example of the guy, the promoter guy. So he comes in. He was so tan, and his teeth were so white. And he comes over to my friend Madison, says happy birthday. My friend Madison goes, oh, do you know Caroline? This is a guy that I had worked with for years and worked with multiple nights a week at nightclubs. And he like kind of starts to give me that like, hey, how you doing? And I go, yep, we worked together for a long time. Your name is James. I also saw you at Madison's birthday 2 years ago, and we had the same conversation. We had the same like, yeah, we worked together. He goes, oh, I thought you looked familiar. And he had set my friend Madison up with her current boyfriend, and this guy goes, you know, you're just a special girl. He said that he's never been like this with another girl. And then he goes, you know, I just haven't found that special girl yet. turns to me, a person who he 5 seconds ago was about to introduce himself to, even though we worked together for years, and he claps me on the shoulder and goes, maybe that could be you. Maybe you could be that special girl. Yeah. Oh yeah. It could be me? Yes! All my dreams have come true. I could be his special girl. Even though he didn't remember me, even though we worked together for 3 years, I could be his special girl. Yeah, I break out into like a huge musical theater number. Watch out, world. Here comes a ring. Quan theater. Jazz hands. Watch out, ladies. I found my king. Good times. Man. The plot of Mamma Mia 3. Everything's coming up for me now. That's right. That's right, baby. Mama, I've made it. I'm a special girl. I could be that special girl. White People Dini, thank you for the gifted sub. Thank you, thank you. This is me now. This is me. Now. This is me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is me. Potentially his special girl. Yeah, my life began today. My life began today. Wouldn't it be funny if he was watching? Hey, baby. I'm making us some dinner. Whenever you get off work. I'm assuming you're still working in clubs. Kind of gave off that vibe still. Maybe you're doing commercial real estate, like everyone who quits doing nightlife does. But anyway, dinner will be at 11. And there will be just enough soup for us to have one little slurp each. Like, who needs more than that? Yeah. The funny thing is, too, it has nothing to do with me being in a relationship. This is not me being like, excuse me? I have a boyfriend. Like, if I were the most single I've ever been in my life, I would have responded the same way. There's no way that any situation I could find myself in would have me being like, you know what? I'm in. The nightlife to real estate pipeline is insane. I know, I talked about this yesterday. It really is. I'm risking it all. You had me at, I might be that special girl. With all this 6'4" drama, do you have some words of hope for the short kings? You know what? Short kings have better personalities. As long as you're not obnoxious about being short and, like, you know, just realize that we live in a world where tall men have privileges. Like, if you want to be president of the United States, you have to be over 6 feet tall, stuff like that. So you realize that and make, you go, well, fuck it. I don't have the height, so I will make sure I shine in the personality. Just don't be obnoxious. No, it's funny though, because in my life I've probably had the craziest range in the height of people that I have dated. I dated one guy who was 5'4". My college boyfriend was 5'7". My first boyfriend in LA was 5'10", but said he was 6 feet tall. And then I had a boyfriend in Chicago who was 6'7". That was too tall, I will say. The only time I've ever thought that the height was a problem was the 6'7". And I'm 5'9". It was awkward. It was an awkward height. Yeah, 6'7". Let me think. There've been a couple guys who were 5'8". What's weird is when I look back on men who I was attracted to, even if we didn't date, I would say the average height was 5'8", which is about an inch shorter than I am. And yet there's 5'2" girls thirsting for 6'5" men. I know. I don't understand it. I don't know why you want to feel like a child. I'm 5'9", again, and with heels, I'm over 6 feet tall. But even still, with the 6'7", I was like, I feel like a baby, and I don't like it. I don't like this feeling. Right. It's one of the worst examples of this was Hayden Panettiere and her ex-husband. Hayden Panettiere, who's like 5'2", maybe, and her ex-husband, who was, I want to say 6'5" or 6'6". The world average height for men is 5'7". North America is supposedly 5'8". Yeah, I think that's about right. Like, I never looked at 5'8" as short, which is crazy because I'm taller than 5'8". But I wouldn't see a 5'8" guy and be like, oh my God, he's so short. Versus women who are shorter than me thinking 5'8" is short. It doesn't make any sense. Like 5'8", 5'9" to me, that's about what I am. And I don't consider that short. That was never like a thing for me. But I have, I know girlies who are 5'3" and think 5'8" is short. How tall am I? I'm about 5'9". I used to, when I used to audition for things, I would always say I was 5'7", because I was like, I think I can get away with 5'7" if I, lean or make myself shorter, because being too tall as a woman in Hollywood is a problem. As a 5'9" woman, I am as tall or taller than most of the male actors here. So every time that I booked a job, with the exception of when I did Lucifer, that was the only fucking time, and I gotta wear heels. I gotta wear like stripper heels, because Tom, what's his name, who starred in Lucifer, was 6'3". And I was like, thank you, God. Thank you. Not because I think 6'3" men are better, but because it meant I wasn't limited in getting to play that role and getting to wear heels. Tom Ellis, yeah. But like when I did Chicago PD years ago, all of the men on that show were shorter than me. That's how it goes. And it is, it can be a hindrance. So I would always say I was 5'7". Yeah, noted. I need to book a role with Jacob Elordi. Yeah, Jacob Elordi, what's up? How you doing? If you... Maybe Jacob Elordi will be the villain in one of my scripts. Jacob Elordi is very tall, and I will say, in some regards, it's a little too tall. When I saw him in Priscilla, he's great as Elvis, but I was like, goddamn, how is he gonna fit on that bus? Like, he is a very tall man, and he looks very tall. And I saw, so they're making a Beatles movie. They're making a movie about the 4 Beatles. And people online were suggesting who they would want for their who they would cast as it. And I saw people say Jacob Elordi, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry, but you cannot have Jacob Elordi as like Paul McCartney. Here's Jacob Elordi, and then the other 3 Beatles who are not 6'5". How tall was the real Elvis? I don't know. He was maybe 6 feet. You can book as a model, Fashan. I am a terrible model, but thank you. Thank you so much. I'm picturing the 4 Beatles, and you know, having like boom, 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 and then Elvis was 5'9". No way. Yeah, like a Jeremy Allen White, who I think is 5'7". I don't think Jeremy Allen White is taller than 5'7". But like, yeah, like Jeremy Allen White, Barry Keoghan, you know what I mean? They're all the same height, and then you just have... Maybe Jacob could play Ringo Starr, because nobody knows Ringo Starr. I'm sorry, Ringo Starr. So they'd be like, yeah, I guess Ringo Starr was 6'5". I guess. Here's what I'll say. Whatever height you see online, there's kind of a general rule of thumb. Actors who are under a certain height, whatever their height is listed as online, that's not true. It's always like an inch or 2 taller than they really are. Like, here's an instance. Okay, let me see what Josh Hutcherson's is. Josh Hutcherson, it has him listed as 5'5". I swear in the past he's been listed as 5'7". Josh Hutcherson there's no way he's taller than 5'4". And I know this because I lost him in the club one night when I was supposed to walk him to his table. Josh Hutcherson came into the club. I was assigned to walk him to his table, and I lost him even like when there was a table of people who were sitting down, and I literally lost Josh Hutcherson, and I hope he found the table he needed to get to. I lost PETA Malark. I did. And I got up on the DJ booth, because the DJ booth is the highest part of the club. I literally got up on the DJ booth because Josh was a VIP, and I didn't want to get blamed for not walking to his table. I literally got up on the DJ booth to try and locate him. So anyway, good rule of thumb. Actors who are under a certain height, I would say probably like 5'10" and under. I frequently think the heights that are listed for them online are not true. They're not correct. Whereas, okay, so like tall female actors will lie about how tall they are. Myself included. I always said I was 5'7". I still claim that I'm 5'7". I've said 5'6" before as well. And then medium to shorter male actors will lie about being taller. As a 5'9" woman, I'd let Josh climb me. He's a cutie. He's a very cute and was a very sweet guy. And like I said, I hope he's still not at the club to this day. I haven't seen him in a movie as of late. So I don't know. But yeah, I lost Josh Hutcherson. And I'll never forgive myself for that. Yeah. I'm a very tall 5'7", so I just say 5'8". That's fair. That's fair. The bullshit comes from guys who are 5'9", who will say like 5'11", or guys who are 5'11" and will always say 6 feet tall. Like barely 5'11" guys. Guys who are like 5'10" and a half. I think this is the most common one. 5'10" and a half, like 5'10", maybe 5'11", maybe, who will say 6 feet tall. Don't call me out like that. I'm calling it out. I'm calling, but it's not calling you out in like a stop doing what you're doing. I mean, I said I lie about my height as well. 5'9" and 5'9", I stand on business. There you go. Hi, Caroline. I usually only lurk, but had to say, please stop attacking me. You guys are self-reporting now. Hassan literally tells guys who are 5'11" to lie and say they're 6 foot. I say this as someone who dates Will Neff, who is... If Will is standing up straight as can be, not doing his hunched over, like, ape man thing, Will is 5'11". But if that dude ever tried to say he was 6 feet tall, I'd be like, no, you're not. No, you are not. Picture of a snail. Thank you for the 8 months. Because with me, I don't need you to be 6 feet tall. I don't care. All right, I think this is good enough. So let's move on to the next part. I've gotten distracted. 2 teaspoons of, okay, all right, let's finish this. Will does say he's 5'11". Yeah, Will says he's 5'11". He also hunches over. He literally like, he stands like this. He's like this. So he doesn't even look 5'11". Like people don't even believe he's 5'11". He is though. Like if he's, you know, shoulders back, standing up straight, that is his height. But he's like this. Okay, so I need, last couple things here, 1 teaspoon of white wine vinegar, seasoned malt, okay, and then preheat oven to broil. Right. We are preheated on that. Let me get my teaspoon. That is... The only time... Okay, as previously stated, I really don't care about height. I really don't. I have dated men who were 5'4". I've dated men who were 6'7". But I did go on a date with this guy once, who on his Hinge profile, it was Hinge or Tinder or something like that, he said he was 5'9". And Hogan, thank you for the gifted 5-foot cake. Flores Lava, thank you for the gifted as well. And then picture of a snail, thank you for 8 months. He said he was 5'9". I go to meet up with him for a drink. He's sitting when I walk into the bar. And he gets up as soon as I get over to him. This man was 5, maybe 5'6", maybe. And it was just one of those where I go, look, I understand why people lie on dating apps. He was shorter than me and I didn't have heels on. I understand. You know, people fudge certain things. A lot of people fudge on dating apps. Wow, I just spilled half the soup. All right. Nice. However, doing something like that, where you say you're 5'9" on a dating app, and then you are not even close to 5'9", it's going to provide you problems. I probably would not, I probably would have given the dude another chance if he had a personality that was not the equivalent to some burnt toast. Like if he had been funny, if he had a good personality, I really wouldn't have cared. I would have gone out again. The personality is not that great. I go, maybe it's because he hasn't accepted that he's a shorter king and he thinks he's 5'9". I was like, no, buddy. You embrace that 5'6" and get that personality up. And that will serve you so much better in life and in dating than, the height thing. All right. Season with salt and pepper. A little salt. Where's my pepper? Where is my pepper? A little salt and pepper, and then we're preheating the oven to a broil. I need to slice this baguette, this baguette. Are you watching the J-Lo movie tonight? Baby, we already watched the J-Lo movie. But we're gonna watch the documentary when it comes out. No, we are watching Invasion of the Body Snatchers. One of my 5'6" friends always says the inches went elsewhere, and I've always found that hilarious. That's a fucking great line. That is very good. The inches went elsewhere. Okay. Let me slice this bread. Now watch this drive. Just do the Ludwig trick and add 1 inch every year. Yeah! I'm serious though. In my life, the best guys that I have ever met, dated, was interested in, etc., were all men under 6 feet tall. Tall men, you've had it too good. Peach jars! Oh my God! Everybody be on your best behavior. My princess is here. Don't anybody embarrass me. Okay? My lady is in here. Secret Bummers, thank you for the 2 months. Yeah, my girl is in here. What up, baby? Papa is in town, chat. Yo, Daddy's here. Daddy is here. Work your Riz. I gotta be honest, I think women, like the way women are with each other, there's really not, maybe I'll get corrected on this, but I feel like Riz isn't as much of a thing. I don't know. I feel like Riz is more with men and women. Like that concept. Because I have like my friends who are lesbians, they're the most direct people I know. There's no like gameplay, anything like that. It's just like immediate. It depends on lesbian. I know. Yeah, it's true. I guess I'm basing it off of my lesbian friends who really just go right into it. Been raised up by lesbians. It's not that I'm saying women don't have riz. I think that there's like, I don't know. There's just an innate riz with women. Maybe I'm probably totally wrong. I'm sure a lot of women here will be like, no, not at all. TikTok studs make me feel some type of way though. Yep. Less of a challenge to the Riz. Yeah, but I'm I don't know, like I always found, okay, I can base my experience off of making female friends. Like I always have just found friendships easy. Like meeting women. But it's not like me rizzing them up. Like I just look at the okay, dude. Yeah, I just have so many friends. Oh my god. Did our kiss mean nothing to you? No, baby. No. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Like, what I'm saying is that was there all along. Like, there was no even needing to bring any Riz into it whatsoever. Like that energy, it's just there. It's just natural. It's beautiful and natural. Have you ever had an instance where you thought you were starting a friendship with a girl but she wanted something else? No, but I have. It's very funny. This happened to me about a year and a half ago. A girl hit on me, even though she knew Will and knew that Will and I were dating. And it wasn't excuse me, I have a boyfriend again. No, like fuck that. I was very surprised when it happened because I was like, interesting. Because also Will was there and she knew him and knew, I'm pretty sure that we were dating. No, it was not like a threesome type thing. It was like a let me take you out. I was like, oh well, you know what, Will? You fuck up, I get over you, then maybe this is the direction I go. Literally Miss Steele Yo Girl. Yeah, actually. As a baby bisexual who's scared of women, please tell me I don't have to fake Riz with the girlies. Yeah, I don't think what I'm saying makes any sense. Hold on. Okay, let me get this soup in. I only have very tiny ramekins, so that's what I'm making the soup in. It's gonna be in these teeny tiny ramekins. Great. Okay. Excellent. So, okay, we'll get back to what we were talking about 1 second, but... Oh, hold on. I gotta broil... Place the baguette slices onto a baking sheet. Place in oven, broil until golden brown on both sides. Well, I'm only gonna make 2 literally soup shots. I'm making 2 ramekins right now. So I'm just gonna do 2, I'll do 3 bread slices. Okay, and I need to broil on both sides, all right? Okay, then once that broils, well actually I'm gonna divide the soup into the ramekins. Soup! I will say, this looks, okay, this is a shot of soup. This is a very small shot of soup. Just a tiny little shot Alrighty. Just a little soup. Because they have to go in the oven and I don't have anything else that is... I don't have anything else that will work. Everything else will explode. Like these are not... No. It's fine. We're doing shots of soup. Divide soup into ramekins or oven-proof bowls. Place onto a baking sheet top with baguette slices to cover the surfaces. Sprinkle with cheese. All right, these baguettes are going to have to be smaller. And then, what am I looking for? I need this. Wow, oopsie. Look at how much cheese that I sliced that I am not going to need. Taco Cub, thank you for the 7 months. Dinner and movie streams are the best. They are pretty fun. I do like them a lot. These are not totally golden brown, but whatever. Okay. Oof. Now, what was I saying about women? What was I saying about women? No, I guess I looked at it as like, when I would meet women, it was almost just like a natural chemistry because of women being more emotionally connective. Maybe that's what it was. Like a natural compatibility. Yes. Now, I never met women in a romantic setting, or not yet in my life. Never met women in a romantic setting or a sexual setting, so I'm sure there's a difference there, but it was always just like the way that like I felt natural connections with women, and it's why I always had female friends. I never had straight male friends. Never had straight male friends. Because to me, I just always really connected with women very easily. So that's what I was trying to say when I was like, there's not really a Riz factor. It was just this, as a woman, I just always connected easily with women. But that's my personal experience. Flamingo Bonito, thank you for the 2 months. It's like the women in the bathroom thing. You go out and you go to a bathroom, okay? You're at a bar, you're in a place where people are drinking. The vibes in the bathroom are some of the best vibes that have ever existed. And like the way that women build each other up and are so kind to each other, and if someone is like talking about some guy or whatever it is, and then there'll be all these women who jump in and be like, fuck that, fuck him. There's no place like a nasty, shitty women's restroom at a bar where everyone is drinking. Yeah, there's just connections that are formed next to a toilet that is overflowing because there's so much toilet paper in it. The women's bar bathroom is magical. Yeah. Yep. It can be uplifting, they can be gatekeep. I feel like that's 50-50, or they can be gatekeep. No, I'm not saying that women can't be evil. No. Women certainly. Certainly. Oh, my bread. Oh! Oh, God! Oh, no! Oh, my eyeballs! Oh, it's so... Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, I can't see anything. Oh, my alarm's gonna go off. Oh, frack. Oh, no. Oh, my God. How did that... I forgot. I thought it was like 30 seconds. All right. think the bread is ready. Holy shit. The smoke in my eyes. Oh my God. Oh. What if I had burned the house down as I'm like, I love women, you know, I just really connect with them. I've always been a girl's girl, and there's just flames around me in the apartment. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I really cherish my female friendships. It's just like burning. I'm like, women can do anything. We really can. I want you women to know you can do anything. And I'm burning down the apartment because I fucking burnt the sourdough bread. Jesus. Oh my God. All right. We gotta redo that. I'm cooling this off. Yeah, this is fine. Let me know if anybody wants a piece. Wow, this is really, it's really quite something that I did there. Incredible. Oh my God, it's 8:30. Fuck. I'm sorry to my parents if you have fallen asleep. Okay, let's do this again. I'm not going to get distracted this time. All right, I'm not going to get distracted. Whew. Let me turn the light on. Yeah, I had a couple Aperol spritzes at my friend's birthday, and I've had a glass of wine, so that might have played a part. Oopsie. Just use a toaster? No. Absolutely not. I'm just going to be much more diligent now. God. It still smells so burnt. Okay. Whew. Here we go. Who would have thought this would have been the most difficult part? Who would have thought this would have been the most difficult part of the process? Oh, and thank you for the gifted. Jesus. At least the smoke detector works. Yeah, Farley is never coming out of Will's stream room. Ever. Ever. He's like, I'd rather be dead. I am in hell. This is hell. And so we're back to the minute again. Huh. Did that scare him? Oh, well, he's been hiding for like the last 2 hours. Oh my God, why does this cook so quickly? That was like 2 seconds. Okay. Jesus Christ. So I'm gonna put the baguette slices here. That almost burnt. I'm not even joking. That almost fucking burnt again. You can see the edges. My God. Man, if I can do this, I can... If I can make it here, there I'll make it anywhere. I could probably go work at NASA or something. Okay. Sprinkle with cheese. Here's my cheese. I'm going to put... Remember, these are the smallest ramekins in the world. They're the smallest little soup things. Alright. Okay. I feel like this is not... This is not great. These can definitely go in the oven, yeah. Alright. Okay, I think... I'm gonna crack the door of the broiler. Why do I feel like it's gonna explode? Oh, it smells so bad in here, you guys? Remember how it smelled good once upon a time? Alright, I turned that shit down. Remember how it used to smell good because of the onions and the soup and everything? It smells completely burnt in here. It's totally burnt. I'm gonna turn up the vent fan. Jesus, I thought this was really easy going tonight, and then it turned into... Oh, it smells so bad. This turned into... This turned into... hell. I literally cremated the first pieces. Alright, that's good. I turned it down to low. Open the windows. I don't have any windows. There's no windows in here. Alright, that's good. We're good. Yeah, no, there's no windows in my apartment. I know that sounds weird, but I have the door open. Why is that making that noise? I don't know. Is that legal? I don't know. I mean, the windows are doors. If that makes sense. But the doors don't really work. Even though I live in a multi-million-dollar mansion. Yeah, the doors are the windows, and they don't really work that well. Like when I try to open the door, I have to like put my whole body into it. All right. I think it's good. I think we're ready to go. Yeah? What do we think? Good? Okay. Well, I wish it was a little bit brown on top. Let me just close this. Okay, wait, let me do this. Let me close that. I'm scared of it burning, so... Alright, I'm scared of it burning. It smells so bad in my apartment mansion right now. It's really terrible. Okay. All right, we're done. Here we go. Here's the soup. 2.5 hours later, I did it. And now it's time to try it. Now it's time to try this soup. Okay, I need a spoon. Looks good. It actually does look good. Not bad at all. Okay. Yeah. With that cheese pull. Onions. Okay. Yes, the oven is off. Okay, I need another bite to fully assess. I think it's good. Oh God, it's spilling. Oh Jesus. Oh no. Oh, hold on. Oh. Oh boy. Oh. There's not much soup in here, so I can't afford for it to spill out. Okay. Let me take another bite. We're gonna need a bigger bowl. Yeah, this is spilling, but it's okay. It's very salty, but I think it's good. I can't, I'm kind of having a hard time telling because all I can smell is smoke. It's like in my taste buds. I need someone, I need Will here. I think it's good. No, it's not the soup that's burnt. I think the soup is good. It just smells like, it smells like smoke in my apartment. All right, this is gonna be a good bite. Right here. Okay, here's what I'll say. This is the quality of like, if I were to go to, if I were to go to a restaurant that doesn't specialize in French onion soup, I think this would be what I would have. It's pretty good. Olive Garden. The onions are delicious. Very, very good. Cooked perfectly. Cooked perfectly. I think the bread is kind of strange. It's okay. It's okay. So Panera bread, yeah. I would say like Panera bread. Maybe a little bit better because I made it. I think it's one of the, but like if I were to go to a French restaurant where, you know, they know how to do a damn French onion soup, I think I would be like, okay. All right, that's it. It's all done. My little tiny soup bowl. Okay, out of 10, how would I rate this? I'm gonna give it I think I'm gonna give it a 7.99. Yeah, I think a 7.99. Which is pretty good. I think it might be higher if I didn't smell smoke. Like if that were not permeating my nostrils. Which then is having a little bit of an effect on my taste buds. It smells like I'm in a place that burnt to the ground. Smoky, but not like a good smoky. Does it mean you will do it again? Yes. I might try a different recipe. Because I've always wanted to make Julia Child's French onion soup. It's what my dad makes. My dad loves Julia Child. And he makes Julia Child's French onion soup, and it is so good, but it takes a really long time. I did not have real Gruyere. Yes, this is like a fake Gruyere, a cheddar Gruyere. So I think the next time that I made French onion soup, I had to do a shorter version for stream, even though now we're almost at 3 fucking hours. I had to do a shorter version for stream, but I think if I make it again, I would do like a very legitimate recipe of one that's like Julia Child, for instance. What's the best soup? My favorite soup, I really fuck with tomato soup, but it's got to have a grilled cheese. Like, I'm not going to eat tomato soup on its own. There's got to be a grilled cheese. I do love, okay, soup on its own, French onion soup. Soup on its own, French onion soup. Soup with sandwich, tomato soup. Yeah, with like a just dank grilled cheese sandwich. I also love broccoli cheddar. I also love, I love potato soup. Do love potato soup. I like a good gumbo. I'm going to New Orleans next Thursday. So just as a reminder, I will be gone next weekend. I am coming back Sunday. I have a bachelorette weekend to go to, and I'm taking a 6 a.m. flight from New Orleans back home so I can try to rest up and do dinner and a movie next Sunday. But I'm very excited to go to New Orleans because I always get gumbo. Yeah, I love the food down in New Orleans, so I'm quite excited. Now, it is a bachelorette weekend, which usually the focus is not on food, but I'm going the night before the bachelorette starts so that I can like actually have my New Orleans experience, because I love New Orleans so much. My 3 favorite places in the United States of America that I've ever been to, outside of Los Angeles: Chicago, New Orleans, and probably, actually 4, New York, and then Yellowstone when we go visit Will's family. But New Orleans has a very special place in my heart. So when I did the competition, or when I did the charity thing for Twitch with the NFL players, my best friend who lives in New Orleans, her sister has a nonprofit down in New Orleans, and that is the charity that I chose as my charity. And I won $4,000 for, which is very exciting. But New Orleans is very near and dear to my heart. Love New Orleans. I started going when I was in college. That was where I punched the guy. That was my first public punching, was when I was in New Orleans. It's very near and dear to my heart. Happened on Bourbon Street, circa 2012, 2013, I think it was, when I socked this dude in the face who was harassing my friends and then threw a cup of vodka in my face, and somebody caught it on their flip phone. Yeah, those were the days. That was when you met Will, right? No, I didn't meet Will till 2017. No, this was like college me. There's a lot of good restaurants, Avi, but Atchafalaya is great for upscale Cajun if you want something more local. It's in the Garden District uptown. Ooh, I don't think I've ever been there. I've probably been to New Orleans 10 times. Show us the footage. Okay, I gotta see if I can find it. Hold on. Man, I haven't looked at this video in a long time. Okay, we also got to get moving soon. I wonder where it is. So it was on Bourbon Street, and this guy was fucked up. And he came over to my friends and started harassing them, and they were like, no, there's a lot of crazy shit that happens on Bourbon Street. They're like, no, we're not interested. No, thank you, sir. We're not interested. And he wouldn't go away. And one of my friends turns to him and she goes, go away! And he had this cup. And I found out 2 seconds later it was filled with the worst vodka ever. Ever. I'm like, could it at least have been Tito's? And he just throws it. I wasn't even the one who said go away. And he throws it in my face. And I was blinded. I was like, oh my God. Like, just couldn't see anything. I stumbled over to a bouncer. And I was like, I need water. And someone handed me a bottle of water. And I was clearing out my eyes. And I basically, like, blacked out with rage. Okay, I found the video. It's not loading. Because it's like on my iCloud. Fuck. Shit. It's like one of the first videos that I have. I don't know why this is... Shit. I might have to show this later. It is not loading. Anyway. So he throws vodka in my face, and I'm like trying to clear it out. I look up, and I see my best friend Teresa, who I'm visiting. Well, it's a bachelorette next weekend, but I'm gonna go see her. And she's like squaring off, ready to fight this guy who's coming at her. And I like did one of these where I hold her back and just wound up and punched this dude across his face. And it was the first punch that I had ever thrown like that, outside of like a boxing class. Yeah, it was very $1 Million Baby of me. Okay, this is not loading. I'll have to show you guys another time. It was very $1 Million Baby, and that kind of started this weird vigilante phase of mine where after that night, whenever I would go out, I was like Batman, but a drunk girl. And so if a dude was like sexually harassing my friends or me, or like if I saw something going on, I would just be like, I know what to do. And that's how the Cheesies brawl happened, but that one was a little bit more intense because the Cheesies brawl was like these guys threw my friend against the wall. Fuck, I don't know how to get this. Okay, let me show you. It's got this like exclamation. Do you see that exclamation point where it's like not downloading? Okay, Legion! I am not Legion! That is the meanest thing that y'all have ever said to me. I'm telling you, it's a 10p video. This is from like 2013. It's very blurry. I cannot get this to load. Let me see if I have it somewhere else. Farts. None of these are loading. I think I have too many things on my phone. Make this into a YouTube video. Yeah. It definitely will monetize that. Anyway, all right. I swear I remember punch story Will told when y'all met. No. It was not when we met, and it was also not a punch story. It was like, what happened was we had met, and then we became friends, and one night, this was like 2 weeks after we'd met, he texted me and said, hey, can me and the boys, I don't think he really said this, but I like to pretend he did, can me and the boys pull up? I was like, yeah, just get there early because it's going to be a really busy night. So he shows up with the boys, and it was really packed out front. And there was this guy, this scrawny dude who was really drunk, and he kept trying to get in. And we were like, no, sir, you cannot come in. And he didn't have a table, and he was really drunk, so we're like, stay over there. And he was mouthing off, as they do, as drunk people do when they can't get into a club. Will walks up. I'm so stressed I always felt like this is very dramatic, but when I worked in nightclubs in like the heat of the most stressful moments of the night, which was always usually around midnight, I would think to myself, this is more stressful than being the president of the United States. I know for a fact. Anyway, Will walks up. I'm like trying to manage the tables, the VIP tables that are getting there. Will's there. I'm like, okay, security, will you help get him? And Will's watching this whole thing. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Slender Man jump the rope and try to I don't know, sprint into the club like that was gonna work. And what happened was I see it out of the corner of my eye. I turn and I grab him and I like threw his ass over the rope, and it was right in front of Will and the boys. And that was the moment that Will said, and I think this is what he said on Melena and Nick's stream. He's like, that was when I went, I think I love that girl. That was what happened. I didn't punch someone, and it was also not the first night we met. It was just a very stressful night at this club I used to work at that was like one of the most popular clubs in LA. And there was always something that went on every single night. Every fucking night. There was multiple things that were happening. And that was just one part of the night where this dude who we had told repeatedly he couldn't come in, and then went, because the number one rule is you don't hop the rope. I don't care who the fuck you are. Barack Obama, you do not hop the goddamn rope. Okay? Not at my club. I don't care. You're president of the United States. I would do the same thing to his slender ass. You do not hop the rope ever. It is like the number one rule. And this guy did that. He did that, and he was like going for the drunken sprint into the club. And I was like, nope, not on my watch. And the crazy thing is, I did not get paid nearly enough to do any of this. Any of the shit I dealt with, where I was like, I was a host, I was bouncer, I was security, I was, yeah, it was every job wrapped into one, and I did not get paid enough for it. But look, any job I do, I take that shit seriously, okay? I'll put everything that I've got into it. No matter what it is. Where were the bouncers? They were around, but like, look, I loved a lot of the bouncers I worked with. They were great guys. A lot of them weren't paying attention most of the times. Like, I was always on the radio, code red, code black, code this guy's doing that, and then would just have to go deal with it myself. Now, granted, there was a lot going on, especially the bouncers out front. Their job was to deal with the crowd. So, like, when people are trying to come in, checking IDs, having to check for fake IDs, stuff like that. So, a lot of times, I found myself in the center of dealing with the craziest shit. And I went, I don't remember this being in the job description, but I guess here we are. Yeah, I loved a lot of those security guys. And you know what? They weren't really getting paid much either. So I don't blame them. I don't blame them for like kind of checking out and going, fuck this shit. There was one guy I used to work with. His name was Jamal. And every time I would see him, we would just kind of look at each other and he'd be like, I hate these fucking people, Caroline. I'd be like, yeah, I do too. But here we are, Jamal. So let's fucking do this. Jamal was a homie. He stepped in the night that this promoter tried to fight me. This promoter who was 4 inches shorter than me and tried to fight me. And Jamal was a guy who like was very chill, very sweet, would just kind of like trying to get through the night. But we had a good friendship, and so this particular night when I was out, I had confronted this promoter for doing like sex trafficking. Literally. And I was like, I fucking know what you're doing, buddy. And it's going to come to an end. It's a very long story. I don't have time to get into it. I go back outside. I'm at the front of the host stand, and promoter comes outside, gets in my face, tries to fight me, and I was literally looking down at him. I said, please, yeah, I know what you're doing, buddy. I really think I did say that. I was like, please try to fight me. Please go for it. I was like, literally go for it, because I knew all the security was around, and I wanted this fucker to get fired. And so he was about to, and then Jamal came running in, and he was like, that's my girl, like, about me. And I went, oh, Jamal, but I do want his ass to get fired, so I do want him to try to punch me. Why do I want to stay calm about bouncers? I think people who work in bars, in clubs, have a lot of stories, but they're... Like, of all the people who work in a setting like that, bouncers especially have crazy fucking stories. Battle line? Battle line! Batquan. Did I miss the movie? No, you did not. And thank you for the reminder, because it's 9 o'clock. And it's time to start the movie. Probably get a story every night. Multiple stories a night. Literally multiple stories a night. All right. So, here's the deal. Let me pull my... I gotta get my computer booted up. Here's how this works. I have to end stream here because I have to pull it up on my PC. If you would like to join for the movie tonight, the movie portion of Dinner and a Movie. Oh, it's nice to see you. You have emerged. Do you want to come here? Do you want some cheese? If you would like to join for the Dinner and a Movie portion, sorry, the movie portion of Dinner and a Movie, we will be watching Invasion of the Body Snatchers. 1978, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It is considered one of the best sci-fi films of all time. I think it's on the AFI's top 100 films list. It is a remake of the 1956 Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which is based on the novel Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It is an excellent film. It's starring Donald Sutherland. It has Jeff Goldblum in it. It is directed by Philip. What's his name? I'm forgetting. Anyway, we can do all that when we get to the PC. But oh wait, no, sorry, this was not working. I just typed in Invasion of the Body Watchers. Totally different film. Okay, it's directed by Philip Kaufman, right? And it stars Donald Sutherland, Brooke Adams, Jeff Goldblum, and Veronica Cartwright. And it also has Leonard Nimoy, aka Spock, in the film. I Have Recurring Dreams is basically the plot of that movie. It's haunting. Anyway, it's a great, cozy Sunday night film. I'm sorry we are starting so late. But if you want to join, we're going to do that in one moment. Let me just pull up my stream left here. Boom. Okay. I'm all set to go over there. If you're heading out for the night, because it is already 9 o'clock, thank you for joining for the dinner portion of me making French onion soup. I try to do Dinner and a Movie every Sunday, so I hope you come back for the next one. I will be coming back from a bachelorette in New Orleans next Sunday for dinner and a movie, so it is questionable what I will be capable of doing. Anyway, what if it's 4 a.m.? Well, if you are an insomniac, join us for the movie. But if you need to go to bed, you need to go to bed. All right? Anywho, for those of you who are staying, stay here. Make sure you follow my stream in case you get lost. Everybody link arms. Find a buddy. And I will pull up the stream on my PC in one moment. Okay, goodbye.